Can I take a 5-minute rabbit trail right here? I got to chase this rabbit down. That's how we say it, Jeremiah. I don't know. We track it. I don't know. I'm going to go off the trail and kill this bunny. He hopped. I'm going to go get him. God's intent in the Garden of Eden was for Adam to eat the tree. Not the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. The tree of life. God wanted him to eat the tree of life. I always get that pause when we do that. Oh, it's going to go off the rails. No, God's intention was to eat the tree of life. That was how he was accessing all of the life of God. God put it all into the tree. If the tree didn't really mean anything, why guard it with a sword after he falls? You know, let's quit acting like it was ceremonial. It meant something. Jesus came along and said, I am that tree. Right? Okay. So it was God's intent for Adam to eat from the tree, but Adam he replaced the tree with a different tree because he was lied to by the father of lies who told him, God has something you don't. And if you would eat from that tree, you would have it. That lying snake. He already had what God was. And he bought the lie and he ate the tree. And then what happens is the illusion of separation continues all the way through the Bible. It's just an illusion. God is not separated from man. Man has separated himself from God. Don't you ever think that God separated himself from man. God showed up that day in the garden and Adam went and hid himself. God made his afternoon appointment to talk to Adam in the cool of the day. It was Adam that put fig leaves on and hid in the bushes because Adam had two people to hide from. The fig leaves was Adam hiding from Adam. The bushes was Adam hiding from God. And God shows up and says, Adam, where are you? And Adam says, I'm hiding in the bushes. And God says, why are you hiding? Not what have you done? Why are you hiding? Yes. And Adam says, because I'm naked. And God doesn't say, how did you become naked? Because he was naked yesterday. God said, who told you you were naked? That was not information you were supposed to have. Yet. Oh, this is a whole nother sermon now. Because in John 9, Jesus comes along and says, I have come to make those blind that think they can see and to help those see that are already blind. What did he mean? And he looked at the Pharisees who said, do you think we're blind? And he said, if you were blind, you wouldn't have any sin. But because you say you see, your sin remains. Why? Because if you hadn't ate from the wrong tree, you wouldn't have a sin awareness. You did, it's all you talk about, and it's all you preach about, and it's all you think about, and you've run from Daddy through religion now for a couple thousand years. At that point, thousands of years. God's intention was for Adam to eat from the right tree and for God to have automatic, all the time fellowship with Adam. And God showed up even though Adam had failed, and he tries to have that relationship and he loses it. And the illusion of separation causes Adam to run off into the wilderness of the Old Testament. And then there's all kinds of pitiful stuff. But God gets him back. Not out in your future, but God gets him back at Calvary. When a criminal looks at Jesus on the cross and says, remember me when you get into your kingdom? And Jesus says, today you'll be with me in paradise. And the guy was a Jew. That was why they were killing him. He wasn't a Gentile. And to a Jew, the Hebrew word for paradise is Eden. So Jesus said to the man today, we're going back in the garden. Oh, man. Now let me ask you this. Why would God, now that he's got you back in the garden, move back into a house made with hands? What good would it do God? Why would God give up the substance to go romance the shadow? He chased the shadow all the way to the cross and then got you. Yes. And we're obsessed with shadow religion. Yes. All of the stuff that we can put on like trappings in our lives, things that make us subdue our flesh and subdue our mind and bring us into the oneness with God. And the reality is it's all already been finished in Jesus. And Paul said it'll never work. None of it will ever work. And Jesus has went to the real place, not the shadow place. Gosh, it took too long to kill that rabbit. It was worth killing, wasn't he? He was a huge rabbit. He was ugly and he was rabid. He was a rabid rabbit.